What's up, folks? It is I, Will, with Exposing.wc, and we have a lot to talk about today, more than I may have a chance to get to, but we'll see. Last night was the debut of NXT on CW. Interesting show, to say the least. We'll talk about that. We're going to talk about what happened on Raw a little bit. I kind of missed Raw. I didn't talk about that. Maybe talk a little bit about Seth returning. Talk about the main event a little bit. Maybe not so much, but we'll cover the important stuff on Raw, and we'll talk about a little bit about Bad Blood and basically this overall week of WWE, really. But of course, we're going to be talking about the events of last night, and particularly the opening match, because that has been a point of contention amongst the IWC about what happened in that opening match. That is Roxanne versus Giulia. Do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and during the stream, if you want to get my attention, do me a favor, send a super chat, because I will not be able to read. Once I get going, trust me, I won't be reading every comment in the stream. I won't, because I got a lot to say about what happened last night. What's up, folks? What's up, Pedro? What's up, Richard? What's up, Rihanna? How you guys doing? Yeah, this is gonna be David. What's up? This is gonna be interesting. So, where do I start when it comes to NXT? Good show. I thought it was appropriate. I thought it did what it needed to do. I saw the executives were there, so they looked like they had a good time. Good for them. But let's go ahead and get started. Let's talk about what you guys are here to hear me talk about, which is Giulia losing. She took a big old fat L. All right, so you guys don't know. Some of you know this, but I did a what do you want to call it? A stream, of course. I did a stream talking about Giulia. I said that I think she should lose. And when I talked about why I thought she would lose, I brought up, I'll come in from a position of what's best for her character and her run. I thought, if you listen to the stream, I thought it'd be better if you endeared her to the fans first by having her lose initially. That was the whole entire point of the stream. I'm not a big fan of freaking Cora Jade or even Roxanne. It's more about what can we do for Giulia, okay, and how to best introduce her to the audience. Because spoiler alert, okay, if you didn't know this, most people don't know who the hell she is, okay? Most folks do not know who this woman is. They know she's a badass. They know she's from Japan, but that's about it. They're not nerds like us and me, okay? They're not nerds. They don't know what happened to Giulia in Japan, okay? They're not following her the entire time. Maybe you did. Maybe you fell in love with her in Stardom, okay? Maybe you watched her rivalries with Tam Nakano. Maybe you watched her take the red belt off of Shuri. Maybe you watched her create her faction of DDM with people like Tekla and Natsupoi and Mai Sakurai, etc. Maybe you watched that. Maybe you watched her win the Strong Championship belt in New Japan. Maybe you watched, like me, her run in Marigold, where she lost to Bozilla and Suri in the first match, broke her wrist. Maybe you watched her come out there every damn show, cutting a promo, getting the crowd involved, being at the forefront of Marigold. Maybe you watched that. Maybe you watched her lose her shot at the red belt to Suri. Maybe you watched all of that, okay? But here's the thing. Most folks did not watch it. Most folks do not know what's going on with this woman. They just see, oh, she's beautiful and talented, and they say she's a badass. Okay. So the question is, how do you best potentially introduce her to the audience in a way that's impactful from an emotional standpoint, where you could endear yourself to her because you see her fighting, struggling, scrapping to get the title, chasing a little bit at adversity, all that is in play, okay? But because you may be a stan, or maybe you are a super fan, you don't see like that. You don't see that. In your mind, she is Giulia, you love her, and in your mind, this is how it should go, okay? Because you're emotional, the plan should be, Giulia comes in from Japan, she steps onto the scene, everybody clear the deck for Giulia, she's here, The champion is here. She defeats Roxanne. Get her out of here. She beats her clean. Maybe do a rematch. Maybe you don't do a rematch at Havoc. Who cares? She beats Roxanne. Maybe you serve up JC Jane. Maybe you serve up Fallon Hilly. She beats Sol Ruka. She beats Delta. She beats this person. She beats that person. And then ultimately, when she's done beating up everybody and running the table, she'll face Stephanie Vaquer at Stand and Deliver. How you get to that match? When will it happen? Well, at Stand and Deliver, but how? What do you do with Stephanie the whole entire time? Who cares? It's about Giulia. She loses to Giulia. Or she loses to Stephanie Vaquer, right? Why? Why is that? Are you going to tell some story? Is there some kind of compelling narrative coming up? No. You want her to lose because you want her to drop that belt because then you want her to go to the main roster, right? So she has a great run in NXT. She loses to Stephanie at Stand and Deliver. She goes straight to the main roster. And then what? She wins Rumble and she faces Io Sky in the main event of WrestleMania. That's a plan, right? That sounds like a plan? That's a plan, right? That's what we all want, right? That's Stan booking. Okay, I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. That is Stan booking. Creative team is not catering to Giulia in that regard, in that respect, okay? They have a collection of women, whether it be Giulia, whether it be Stephanie Vaquer now, Stephanie Vaquer, whether it be Roxanne Perez, Cora Jade, whether you like it or not, whether it be Delta, Thea Hale, you name it, okay? There's a wide collection of women who are they responsible for, okay? They're responsible for all these women, all right? And it's up to them to come up with creative that benefits the whole, not just one person, okay? It's not the Giulia show, it's not the Stephanie Vaquer show, it's not the Roxanne Perez show, it's not the Delta show. It's NXT and how we use all these talented women like Stephanie Vaquer, because spoiler alert, if you didn't know this, I'm gonna tell you right now, I think ultimately she may make them more money than Giulia in the long run because she's a Spanish-speaking woman and a talented woman who they can use in those Spanish-speaking countries like Mexico, like Chile, in South America, etc. I think she actually is down the road be more financially, like she's more money for them than Giulia is. That's neither here nor there, right? There's a lot of women here who are in consideration when coming up with creative for various different reasons, for their upside on the main roster, etc. Again, I think Stephanie Vaquer will ultimately be more beneficial to them money-wise than Giulia is because of where she's from and her language she speaks, okay? So I had to take that all into consideration. So it's not the Giulia show. It's about what do we do? How do we work all these different talent and keep them happy and keep the story good and keep creative interesting, all right? It's not about one person. It's not. Maybe in your mind, you had it in your head, well, this is about this is going to be Giulia's show. She's going to run no, okay? They have to tell a story here. And if the story involves her losing, that's fine. She's going to be great. She's going to be fine overall, okay? Ultimately, this will all work out. All right? I get it, okay? I get it. You're emotional. You're invested in a character, one person, and you want what's best for her. Creative be damned, okay? You want her to have the spotlight, run the show, be the top person, and win everything, and then go to the main roster and then win everything again. I get it. You're a fan. I understand how that is. I'm sympathetic to that, okay? Look no further than my Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill tweet, all right? Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill were announced to be the host of Bad Blood. And I had a reaction. I said, this is stupid. Why they're doing this? I hate it, yada, yada, yada. After a few hours, I realized that I was being stupid. Of course, it makes sense. We get it. It's Atlanta. They're doing it for the VIP guests they're going to have. Those people are going to vibe with Bianca and Jade. I get what they're doing here in Chocolate City. I get what's happening here. So why did I react like that? You know better. That doesn't make any sense, right? I reacted like that because I was emotional. I never loved Bianca being a tag team to begin with. I never liked the idea. And I don't like her booking. I don't think I don't think they're booking her in a way that's working her character, like no character development, no nothing. It's kind of bland and boring for me. And I was frustrated with that. So I took it out on the Bad Blood announcement of the host thing, and it made no sense. So what I do next day, I said, oh, by the way, guys, I was wrong. I try to be aware. I'm aware of myself and I'm aware of my emotions, and I can get carried away sometimes. So I like to call myself out. I will call myself out. Unlike these other folk who pretend like they didn't say what they said. The shit that I got online for merely suggesting that Cora Jade was going to come down there and screw her was crazy. But I didn't pay any mind. I didn't take it to heart. I get it. You're emotional. I even said it. You guys are being emotional right now. I understand. I get it. But just calm down. Don't overreact when it potentially happens. I didn't know for sure. Thought it was possible. But I said, when it happens, just try to see reason. Because I think it's very possible this could happen. But these people, I get it. You're emotional. The only thing I don't like is when you lie. Don't say I said something that I didn't say. That might get you blocked, okay? You can call me stupid, whatever, or crazy. I don't care about that. I get it. You're upset. You're emotional. Fine. But when you say something I didn't say, or imply I said something that I didn't say, that's when I get upset. Don't lie about anything. If I said something, I'll say I said it, and I'll own up to it if I'm wrong. But don't lie. That's it. But yeah, I'm sympathetic to all this. I get it. I can be emotional too. But that's what's happening here. Folks were emotional. They had it in their head of what was going to be the plan. She's going to have an Oscar-like run. And that's not the case. Because you have other women that are talented, that who they believe in, like Roxanne Perez. Look, let's talk about Cora Jade for a second. Talk about Cora Jade. Now, folks know I'm not the biggest Cora Jade fan. I've been on the record. I think she has a good look. She has some star power to her, but her in-ring is not the best, and her mic work is just decent. She's not my favorite. But I know that they like her, so I'm not going to ignore reality. I'm not going to ignore it. Just because I'm not a big fan doesn't mean I'm going to pretend like I don't know that they're a big fan. They like her. She has CM Punk in her corner. They believe in her. They're going to give her every opportunity to succeed. I cannot ignore reality. It's the case. It's reality. It's a fact. I have to factor it in when I'm talking about this stuff. I can't ignore that they like Cora Jade. I can't ignore it. You shouldn't ignore it too. You shouldn't ignore it either. You didn't ignore it, or you did ignore it because you're emotional. I get it. Okay, I understand. So let's talk about what actually happened on that damn show. First of all, I'll talk for a minute. Let me look at the stream. I was on a little bit of a rant there. Let me talk about let me see what's happening in the chat. What's up, folks? How you doing? Hello, everybody. Yeah, I can't read everything. So send a super chat if you want me to read something in particular, but I'm just skimming the chat here. I like Stephanie. Like I get with Stephanie, but Cora isn't dethroning Roxanne. Let's be real. No, Cora's not dethroning Roxanne. That's not happening. Cora's now the sink or swim moment. I agree. Will does Joshi content? He does not hate Giulia. I don't. I like her very much. Go look at my tweets about that woman. Been tweeting about her for the last 6 months. I'm a fan. I don't watch that much content of her and not be a fan. I've complimented her. I've tweeted so many damn GIFs, so many damn videos. I'm a fan of that woman. I'm talking about, I put that aside when I'm talking about creative. When I'm trying to talk about creative, I put aside my own fandom. What do I think they're going to do? I think they could bring in Cora Jade. I think she could lose. That got nothing to do with whether I like her or not. This is idea. Matter of fact, let me pull up this tweet right here by this gentleman. Okay, let me pull up this right here. Giulia fan. So this person implying, because I made a stream where I said Giulia should lose, I'm not a fan. Again, if you watch the stream, or he or she, I don't know who this is. This person watched the stream, they realized I said in the video, let's make her a bigger star. Let's endear her to the fans. Let's make her let's get the fans behind her because they don't really know her that well. Give her some adversity. Should be even bigger star because of it. How's that not being a fan? That's ridiculous. I'm more of a fan of her than I am Cora Jade, that's for damn sure. And I'm more a fan of her than Roxanne. So again, they're emotional, they're stands, and they can't see reason because of it. It's unfortunate, but I mean, again, I sympathize. I get it. I understand. Let's see. Being a fan doesn't mean you want the person to win all the time. Correct. You can be a fan and say, for example, Bianca Belair. Everybody knows I'm a big Bianca Belair fan. I love her to death, right? She was facing Nia Jax in the Queen of the Ring tournament. I knew she was going to lose. Was I mad? No, because I knew it was going to happen. I get it. You can't have Bianca Belair win the Queen of the Ring. Why? It makes no sense. She's in a tag team. She's going to lose. Of course. I get it. Nothing wrong with booking your fave to lose if you believe it's going to there's a story playing out here. If it means something, something's going to happen from it. There's a purpose. There's payoff and set up and payoff. That's what it is. Set up and payoff. We have a setup here of Cora Jade coming to play. We expect there to be payoff. We'll see what happens. If it's bad, I'll say it's bad. I'm not going to call it bad before I see the damn storyline. Let's see the story first, all right? When do I think she's going to get the title? We'll talk about that in a second. Crowd ate it up. I agree. Who does this make a bigger star when she lost? Well, see, there's a thing called adversity. And when there were people in Reddit and Twitter who said, I don't want her to win the belt right away. Like, why? She's like, because I don't like the fact she just showed up. Those people exist. You have people who believe she's my favorite, I love her, and I want her to win right away. But there's also a lot of people who were not, but they didn't get behind that, okay? They didn't like that idea. They said, okay, who's the chick? And why should I care that she's here? Why do I want her to win right away? I'm not invested in her. Not everybody is you. You have to think about the whole audience, okay? If you want to make her a bigger star, you give the person adversity. Look at Bianca Belair at 2020, the 2021 SummerSlam, right? She got screwed by Becky Lynch. I'll tell the story before. I told the story all the time. Well, I tell the story all the time. I got back into wrestling because of the 26-second squashing. I was on Twitter, typing around on the internet. I saw Bianca Belair trending. Like, what's happening? Why is she trending? Like, who is this woman? I stopped watching wrestling. I clicked on Bianca Belair. Screwed. What's going on here? Botched. Screwed. Buried. Like, what? What are they talking about? Clicked on her hashtag, whatever, Bianca Belair, looked, Google search, scrolled, rest is history. Oh, she did get screwed. What the hell's going on here? It's storytelling. It's storytelling. That's what I'm talking about. You make people give a shit. It's simple. Some folks, we'll talk about it here in a second, actually. Let's dive into the actual match. So I thought this was a very good match. First of all, let's look at these two new belts. The white belt, the black belt. That's what I'm gonna call it now on. The white belt and the black belt. The white belt is the women's title. Got the new black and silver NXT look. Very Raiders. I like it. Cool. So we had Triple H and Shawn Michaels open up the show. I thought Giulia, it's no wonder that Triple H wanted this woman like 3-4 years ago. She just looks incredible when she comes out there. A massive star. Of course she's beautiful. Of course she has aura, but just the star power is just oozing all over the place. It's really crazy to think about it. It's insane just how good she looks in this setting, in this ring. She's just a massive superstar. I get it. Triple H, I see it. Like, we all see it. This woman it's out of this world, the star power she has, right? I can't say enough. This was a good match. I thought Roxanne Perez came down there. I thought she looked cool. She looked like a badass. She had presence about her, looked confident. I like what she's bringing to the table. And they absolutely cooked in this match, I thought. Start off with some good chain wrestling. They actually named her accomplishments from Japan, called out her Stardom championships, talked about her New Japan Strong Belt win. So they did that. They had some trading pin attempts at the beginning. Giulia hit her with a high leg kick to the face and then a headbutt. There was split chants, like, let's go Roxy, let's go Giulia again, because a lot of fans know Roxanne. They like her. They're accustomed to her. She's endeared herself to them, right? So they want her to win. Half the crowd, right? That's what I'm talking about. Folks don't know Giulia beyond she's a badass from Japan. Some of them know her, of course, but a lot of people don't, okay? So you have to find a way to, especially as a babyface, make them care beyond, I'm a badass, right? You make them care. So anyway, the chants were split down the middle. Got a Northern Lights suplex from Roxanne Perez. That was cool. Got repeated headbutts from Giulia. Once Roxanne slapped her, Giulia started headbutting the hell out of her, but it was safe. She put her hands up and hit her like this. So safe series of headbutts there. Got a leg. There's one thing that didn't work out great. Probably like two things, but one of them was like like a head scissor thing that Roxanne threw up to throw Giulia outside the ring, but it didn't really come off great. Anyway, she went out the ring. Then she did a dive to the outside, Roxanne did, and hit Giulia. Crowd got excited. NXT chants. Crowd was hyped the entire match. I loved it. My favorite sequence of this match was, I don't think I have it here, but there was this, Giulia hits this double underhook suplex into a bridge pin. Like, okay, I see you, Giulia, I see you. They were cooking. She grabbed that thing, underhook, grabbed her arms, suplexed from the top ropes, and then bridged. Then when she kicked out, she rolled over. Oh, they're cooking. Oh, this is great. I love that. Was my favorite sequence of the match. When it's right, she rolled right into a submission attempt, and then Roxanne countered into a submission attempt as well, which then Giulia countered again into the STF. They were cooking. I thought it was a very good match. Very good match. Crowd booed. Okay, so let's be clear. The crowd booed when Roxanne broke the submission attempt. So most of the crowd wanted Giulia to win. Okay, good. Giulia hit the G trigger, which is a knee to the face. Roxanne kicked out. Great emotion from Giulia. I thought her facial expressions were great here. Great emotion from her. That's what you love about her. Great. She has charisma. She had great, her face, her emotions that she displays is always great. It's one of my favorite things about Giulia. Love that about her. She got emotional. Then she hits the Northern Lights bomb, or she attempted the Northern Lights bomb, and then that was countered into a cradle. Now that didn't work out great as well. I think it was supposed to come off a little bit more smoother, but whatever, it happened. It was a great match nonetheless. Roxanne hit Pop Rocks. She hit her finisher, and Giulia rolled out. Okay, crowd cheered. The crowd cheered when Giulia rolled out of the ring. So the crowd wanted to see the title change. Good. And Giulia hit the Northern Lights bomb to the floor on the outside. They're both laying on the ground. They both beat the 10 count to break the count out. Then Roxanne leaves the ring again, goes around the ring, and she goes to the damn titles. Okay, so this is the important part of the story here. This is a character moment for Roxanne Perez. Roxanne was willing to cheat for the first time. She didn't know that Cora Jade was going to come out there. She had no idea Cora was going to go out there. She had no idea. She grabbed the title to DQ the match because she was not confident that she could win. For the first time, because I believe she won every match clean. That was the first time she wrestled against an opponent during this run where she thought, holy shit, I could lose. I'm scared. I got to cheat. That is a character moment for Roxanne Perez, and it backs up what Giulia said. Because Giulia had been saying that Roxanne Perez is scared, and she is. She was willing. Look at that face. She's terrified. I might lose. I want to keep my belt. I'm going to cheat. She did not know Cora Jade was going to be out there. Now, speaking of Cora Jade, she ran out there. Okay? She ran out there, and she got involved in the match. Now, this is something I thought could happen. I thought if Roxanne was going to win the match, it was very plausible that Cora Jade could get involved here. Sure enough, she ran down there like Solo Sikoa in her black hoodie and interfered. I mean, just look at that face. There's great stuff from Giulia all the time. Great emotion, great facial expressions. I love her. Cora Jade got involved. She hit her finisher very clean. Like, it looked very good. Giulia, she sold the hell. She was on fire in this match, I thought. Giulia was. She sold that thing like it was the best finisher ever. She had that double underhook DDT. She flipped over and sold it amazing. Cora Jade threw her back into the ring. Roxanne Perez hit the Pop Rocks, got her for the 1, 2, 3, and the crowd booed. Again, it's working. They didn't want Roxanne to win the match. They wanted Giulia to win. But now you gave her even more adversity. So guess what's going to happen next time? Next time, when she faces her again, the crowd will be even less split. Because now they feel she got screwed. Oh, you screwed her. You screwed Giulia. She's supposed to win. Cora Jade, we hate you. You're a heel. We don't like you. We want Giulia to win even more next time. It's called storytelling. It's called story progression. It makes sense. So she pins her. Roxanne looks to the ramp. She sees Cora Jade looking. She's like, "Hey, why? Wait a minute." She's kind of confused, but she's smiling. Like, "Wow, I didn't know you come out. I know you're gonna come out here." She was not expecting her to do that. So now we have a story. Okay, we have a story where Cora Jade has inserted herself into the storyline. Okay, now, question is, what happens next? Backstage, we have another interaction between the two. Well, not another, the first one between Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez. Roxanne says, what the hell was that? What happened out there? Cora Jade says, well, I helped you because I like the attitude you're showing right now. I'm a fan of what you're doing these days. And, this is my show and I want you to stay champ. That's all it really was. That's all it was. Now, some folks say that's not a good enough reason. Who cares? Like, she gave a reason. She said, I'm a fan of what you've been doing. I like this new attitude from you. You're no longer the goody two shoes anymore. I didn't like the old Roxanne. I'm a fan of this Roxanne. So yeah, I helped you. It's a perfect enough good reason. I mean, this is pro wrestling. Are you going to act like we don't know how this goes? Like, you don't need great reasons to do shit in pro wrestling. You don't need great reasons. She was impressed with Roxanne's run. She likes Roxanne's new attitude, this new heel run. So she helped her. Now they're both heels together. And guess what? They're going to be like this, which is what they reported was going to happen before Cora Jade got injured. It was reported that Cora Jade was supposed to join up with Roxanne, had a little bit of a heel thing going on, little heel team up, but that didn't happen because Cora Jade got hurt. Now, they're both friends in real life. They're best friends in real life. So, of course, they want to work with each other. This is something different, something new for them. I understand. Some folks, again, it's pure fandom. It's pure lack of reason because of your personal love for the character and the talent. Some folks said it didn't make sense for Cora Jade to interfere because then Giulia would have two feuds. I'm like, do you not hear how crazy you sound? We watch pro wrestling. We know that people interfere in matches all the time. And yeah, it starts another feud, really, right? For example, Cody was wrestling against Roman Reigns, and guess what? Solo Sikoa interfered. So guess what? Solo is feuding with Cody Rhodes. Yeah, we know. Multiple people feuding with one person. We see it all the time. Why are you acting confused like we don't know pro wrestling? We know this, how it works. We have one person interferes in a match and helps their buddy win. Now they enter into the feud. Duh. Like, what are you talking about? They can't have two feuds happening at the same time. Again, these people are not stupid. They're not stupid. It's pure fandom that creates these irrational thoughts. Like, they're so stuck on their own fantasy booking. They're so about their favorite. They're ignoring common sense and stuff they've seen in the past. Like, it's crazy. Like, of course Cora Jade would interfere here, and of course Cora Jade would now be feuding with Roxanne. Duh. Well, not Roxanne. Of course she'd be feuding with Giulia. Of course. Like what are you talking about? Yeah, that's how it works. Pro wrestling. You interfere in a match, you enter into the feud. Duh. Like, what are you talking about? Guess what? If Raquel Rodriguez interferes in the match at Bad Blood, guess what? Now Rhea Ripley is feuding with Raquel. I can't believe it. I just can't believe. Like, duh. Again, these people are not dumb or crazy, or it's just like, hey, I'm a fan of this person, therefore I want her to win. I'm going to ignore a reason. Get out of here, logic. Get out of here, reason. Go away. It's all about my fave winning. I'm gonna block out all common sense. Look at my tag. What do you mean look at my tag? Oh, your tag team? What do you mean? Explain yourself, Pedro. Thanks for super chat. What do you mean look at my tag? Yeah, guess what? When Raquel shows up, she will enter into a feud with Rhea Ripley. And then Rhea Ripley will be feuding with two people. Shocker on Twitter. I'll look at it in a second. Yeah, that's how it works, folks. Oh, here it is. Oh yeah, this. So because of Cora Jade getting involved here, got some crazy people wishing harm and injury, which is just pathetic. I mean, look at this. I hope Cora tears her fucking ACL again. Retire or get released. Wish she tears her ACL again. Being kind. Yeah, these people need to seek help. Yes, it's a sad. Some of these people, oh, James Grant. Oh, yeah, James Grant, one of the people who are like just obsessed. They can't see reason. Here's my response, you bastards. Mind you, I'm a core dude, but getting shitty ending, fuck off. Okay. These people need to go touch grass, okay? It's yeah, it's really a shame. It's really a shame. It's sad. Everyone turn NXT off and tank the ratings. Yeah, these are people I interacted with. These are people I know. These people. Some of them blocked me because they're scared I was gonna like give them a hell. I don't care, dude. I'm not gonna go chase you down and tell you you're wrong. I don't care. But yeah, I know all these people. I know all these people. Yeah, these are people online who are going crazy. Yeah, that's them. That's them. It's really not that serious. It's really not that serious. To wish ACL tears because Shawn Michaels booked Cora Jade to get involved. You wish she gets injured. You're an idiot. Seek help. Seriously. It's not that serious. Giulia does not like you or care about you or know that you exist. Like, get a life. Seriously. So yeah. Good match. I get what they're doing. Cora Jade is now feuding with Giulia. She's paired up with Roxanne Perez. Now we see what happens. Now, what we're going to talk about next here. Some people thought she wasn't going to be there. Let's talk about that for a second. So Cora Jade put out this Instagram post, or this Instagram, whatever you want to call it. She said, hey, I'm in LA. I'm in LA, folks. Nothing to see here. Girls Week begins in LA. I'm like, you guys can be serious, right? Cora Jade is not going to be in LA. She's going to be in NXT in Chicago. It's her hometown. Her mentor, CM Punk, is there. Her best friend is wrestling. She's at the damn press conference. She asked Ethan Page a question. They were teasing it. She's been saying the last few months, oh, I wonder what's going to happen in Chicago. Oh, I'm interesting. Maybe I'll be there. She was teasing it the entire time, and you're surprised that she showed up. You're looking at this post and saying, oh, she won't show up. Will, you're wrong. Like, you cannot be serious with this. You just cannot be serious. Obviously, she's going to show up. The question was, what is she going to do? Was she going to get involved? And she did get involved. Okay. So now let's talk about the future. Enough of that. Let's talk future. What do we think is going to happen next? We don't really know. I don't know. But let's talk about it. Here's the thing, folks. I want you to look at this. Take a look. Take a look at this visual. They don't do this pairing. They don't do this visual. Both of them with the purple hair, by the way. The same color hair, same color streak of purple in their hair. They're going to be together. Do you do this if the plan is for Roxanne to drop the belt in 3 weeks? I'll say it again. Do you make this pairing, this Bayley-Sasha Banks heel team up, do you do this if the plan is for Roxanne to drop the belt in 3 weeks? Or 4 weeks, however long it is. I think it's October 27th. I don't think so. I think it's very possible that Roxanne Perez will be holding that belt for a bit. Okay, how long? I don't know, but for a bit. I don't think dropping that belt at Halloween Havoc. I don't. Not anymore. At this point, I think she's going to be holding it for maybe a few more months. Let's take a look at this real quick. This is relevant. Let me show this.
Gonna win. Everybody thought that Giulia was.
That playback.
Everybody thought Giulia was gonna win.
I didn't think that.
Everybody thought that Giulia was gonna go home with my NXT Women's Championship, and now I understand. Honestly, now I understand why everybody thought that, because Giulia is one of the toughest competitors that I have ever stepped inside of the ring with. But look who's still NXT Women's Champion, and all of you thought that that wasn't gonna happen. But guess what? All of you are still gonna have to deal with me for a long, 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 long time. Nobody can touch me.
Now, I didn't think that, but I think she's right. I think she's not going to be done with NXT. For a lot of us, we thought he will be losing, maybe not, if not now, maybe at Halloween Havoc, and then go up to the main roster. At this point, I don't think we can buy that at all. I don't know how you could possibly predict that at this point. I think that based on what I'm seeing, especially from that damn CW intro, Roxanne's going to be around for a little bit longer. And when you think about it, where on the main roster what are you going to do with her on the main roster right now? There's no plan in place. You're going to send her up to Raw to wrestle with the PFC or Lyra? You're going to send her to SmackDown? What is she going to do there? Wrestle Piper Niven? There's no clear avenue for the main roster. So I think she's going to stay in NXT for a bit. And with this team up here, now, I think we can expect a little bit of a longer reign than initially expected. So let's talk about it here. Halloween Havoc, what do you do? Ava is a pretty like Ava as a manager, she doesn't like cheating. She don't play with that. So it's very possible you can have a rematch. Okay, Roxanne Perez, you cheated with Cora Jade. Even if you didn't plan it to happen, it happened. You benefited from Cora being involved. So we're going to do a rematch at Halloween Havoc. Possible. At this point, I don't think you take the belt off of her now. New CW era showed Roxanne Perez winning the title with Cora Jade interfering. That is the new story. The new top storyline is Cora, Roxanne together. So you don't end the title reign now, I don't think. I don't think you do a one-on-one rematch, because why the hell would you book Giulia to lose again? You could do Stephanie Vaquer against Roxanne Perez, but again, well, you could have Cora Jade screw her too. That's possible. And then Cora Jade and Roxanne team up against Stephanie and Giulia, because Stephanie and Giulia are both screwed by them. It's possible. Do I love that idea? No, because that's just a repeat of what you just did. You could do a tag team match at Havoc. You can do Roxanne and Cora Jade against Giulia and Stephanie. You can do that. But ultimately, wherever you go, I just think this tag team or this pairing is now the top heel story. And I don't think Roxanne Perez will lose her belt anytime soon. Maybe at the end of the year. Maybe at the end of the year, leading into the Rumble season, she drops it then, and then you have Roxanne go to the Rumble. That's possible, but I think for the foreseeable future, Roxanne will be champion on the CW brand in the new era. If you look at the damn poster for CW, she's there. Front and center on the poster. So what does that mean? I don't know. It could mean nothing, or it could mean that Roxanne is here to stay in NXT. What are your thoughts? Makes Vaquer look stupid, in your opinion? Cora has no idea about Stephanie Vaquer, so Brianna, I'll raise you that she does. In her recent backstage promo, she said Stephanie Vaquer. I might pull it up here if I can find it. If I can find it, I'll pull it up. But she did name drop Stephanie, so she's aware. Yep, you have Cora screw Stephanie too. Possible. Rumble call up, yeah. That I can see her losing the belt around Rumble season, so maybe December-ish. Maybe. If not, she can go all the way to Stand and Deliver. That's possible. I do believe that we need to check ourselves on this whole Roxanne to the main roster fast track. It's possible she may lose at Stand and Deliver. It's possible. We could be going Roxanne, Cora Jade, top storyline, going all the way to Stand and Deliver. It's all fiction. It's all storytelling. It just depends on how you want to do it. But I do not expect a call-up anytime soon. I don't bet on it. Maybe Rumble season. If not that, Stand and Deliver, she goes all the way, I think. So you have talent here. You have Delta coming in. You have Stephanie Vaquer. You have Thea Hill. You have Sol Ruka. You got Kalani Jordan. You have talented women on the roster. There's different stories you can tell. There's different ways you can keep that belt on Roxanne Perez easily. So what do you guys think? You would have her lose before Stand and Deliver? Possible. Final match, Cora Jade? I can see that. That's a possibility. Lose a belt, feud with Cora Jade at the end? Possible. I don't know, but it's possible for sure. Anything is possible right now. Nothing's off the table. Nothing's off the table when it comes to Bianca. I say Bianca because Bianca's on my screen right now. When it comes to Giulia, Stephanie, Cora Jade, Roxanne, that storyline is everything's on the table. It's all up for grabs. We don't know. Rumble could be a good time, yeah. Team 2001, yeah. We're born, yes. Yeah, we'll know much more next week, yeah. So that's the thing. As we get different shows coming in, different NXTs, next week after that, we'll get to more of a sense of what they're doing. And the storytelling will be clear. All right, we don't know right now. It's all up in the air. But once we see what happens next week, is Stephanie going to show up within the next month here? Within the next month, will she show up? Will it be a rematch? We don't know. We'll see what happens. But again, Giulia will be fine. She'll be champion eventually. Obviously, she'll be champion eventually. It's all good. It's all fine. No need to overreact. No need to panic or freak out or wish injury upon people. It'll all be fine. There's more than one person down there. There's more talent than Giulia. They're telling a story. Let them tell a story. If the story is bad, I'll be the first one to say, this story sucks. But until then, calm it down. We'll see what happens. Okay? That's all I have to say about this topic. I hope that made sense. But it's not that big of a deal. She'll be fine. Okay? Let's talk about a little bit about Raw. If Roxanne can put over Kiana, she can put over Cora. Yeah, she could. She won't care going to the main roster. She won't care. Anyway, she's not booking it anyway. This is not AEW. They don't book themselves. It's all Shawn Michaels and creative. Let's talk a little bit about Seth. So Seth Rollins showed up at the end of the show on Monday, and he stomped Bronson Reed into the damn steel chairs. Or the steel stairs, not chairs. What's next for Seth Rollins? It's interesting that he showed up right around the time of Bad Blood, right? So you have Drew McIntyre and CM Punk feuding. They're about to wrap that up. They're about to wrap up that storyline, right? And you have Seth Rollins coming back to get his revenge on Bronson Reed. Now you have a storyline between Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins that plays out to probably Crown Jewel. In fact, I'll say right now, Seth against Bronson Reed will happen at Crown Jewel. And ultimately, they're trying to set it up where CM Punk is going to be done with stuff. Seth Rollins will be done with stuff heading to Rumble season and restart that damn feud. Because right now, the money feud for CM Punk, once he's done with Drew, is Seth, right? So Seth will probably deal with Bronson Reed all the way up until Rumble season, maybe. And then I'm assuming CM Punk will be done with Drew after Hell in a Cell. What happened to Drew? I don't know. I'm hoping he gets traded to SmackDown, but we don't know. We didn't have a situation where they're setting up CM Punk and Seth. That's the A storyline for Seth and Cody Rhodes. Or not Cody Rhodes. Seth and CM Punk. That's the A storyline. So I'm guessing that's the direction for Seth. What say you? What do you guys think? I think they're going to be feuding for probably 2 months. I think they'll have a match at Crown Jewel. The Monster, Bronson Reed against Seth. I think that will happen. What do y'all think about Seth plans for next year? Well, not next year. For the rest of the year. For the rest of 2024. I think it'll be Bronson Reed until Rumble season. gotta keep Seth and CM Punk away from each other for a while. Keep them away from each other. See CM Punk going after Gunther? Well, it was teased. It was teased. So Gunther has Sami Zayn and then Braun Breaker. So he has plans, right? I wonder what CM Punk gonna be doing. You have to believe the Drew McIntyre thing will end at Hell in a Cell, right? And maybe he gets injured so much, like kayfabe injury, it takes him out of the play. So maybe he wins the match, but he's so broken down, you gotta take a long break to get back in the swing of things. So you can book it so that he takes a lot of damage, gets injured, and CM Punk has to take time away. Meanwhile, Seth is dealing with Bronson Reed. Gunther is dealing with Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker, and then you bring CM Punk back when he recovers from his injuries from the Hell in a Cell. That's possible. Chad Gable against who? CM Punk? Sure. You feel vindicated? There you go, Solar. I hear ya. CM Punk and Gunther has been reported for Survivor Series. Interesting. So, in my mind, I believe CM Punk wants his Mania main event. Right? I'm assuming that was a plan last year to do CM Punk against Seth Rollins in main event. How do you do that while having CM Punk feud against Gunther and lose to Gunther? I would assume. If CM Punk loses to Gunther, he loses that feud, then how do you book him to get to the main event? Do you have CM Punk beat Gunther? I don't think so. But how do you have CM Punk get the main event? Unless the main event is going to be a non-championship match. That'd be crazy, right? It's possible. They could do CM Punk, Seth, non-title for main event. But it's interesting. I don't know. But let's not talk about, let's not talk about the future, like that far out. In the immediate future, I believe Seth, Bronson Reed, Gunther, Sammy, Gunther, Braun Breaker, and then for CM Punk, maybe he gets injured, taken out of action, or maybe you do CM Punk against. Hey, you may do the Wyatt Six for all I know, CM Punk versus the Wyatt Six or Team Gable or whatever. But I just think you got to hold off on the CM Punk Seth stuff until Mania season, which is Rumble season. Cena Gunther main event. That'd be crazy. I doubt it. I want to see Punk against Owens. How do you do that when CM Punk is on Raw? Oh, you're talking about in the future. Okay. Feels like they missed a window. The window for what? Wyatt Six against the Judgment Day for Mania. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Yeah, so I'm happy about Seth being back. Good for him. I'm looking forward to that Bronson Reed storyline. That'd be cool. What else besides Seth that I want to talk about here? Oh yeah, talk about CW debut in general. CW debut I thought was fine. You notice that we had no picture-in-picture, no overrun. So that's what we have to adapt to. No more picture-in-picture during the commercial breaks. No more overrun. So once that hits 10 p.m. Eastern time, it's a wrap. Right to local news. That's what happened for me. They could write to local news. So that'll be a adjustment period to deal with that. I'm assuming that we'll really know the difference between CW and USA once we go back to the PC, because a lot of stuff right now is kind of different because they're on the road. So you can't have the same amount of backstage segments. It's a little different with planning. So we'll see the true difference between USA and CW when they go back to the PC and they have a regular NXT in the PC. Then we'll know the difference. But yeah, the commercial breaks are a little bit longer, I think. I think commercial breaks don't show the picture-in-picture, of course, and there's a cutoff at 10, so Eastern time. Was the business that Finn was talking about, did that regard Raquel Rodriguez? I don't know. I think so. I don't know what we're talking about. On Raw, Finn told Liv Morgan he had business to take care of with her and for her, I think. We don't know what that was. That's teasing what's going to happen at Bad Blood, clearly, because they didn't address it in the show. So obviously that's going to tie into Bad Blood. So maybe Finn called Raquel, whatever. We don't know yet. I would assume probably that's what it is, but we don't know. So yeah, CW show I thought was fun. I thought that street fight was really good, really hard hitting, very painful looking spots between Wes and Zachary. So good job there. I thought the promo between Tony D and Obafemi was actually pretty good. It was solid. Not gonna complain about it. Do I want Tony D to win? No, unless the plan is to push Obafemi to the main title. And if that's the case, I get it. You have Tony D win and then push Obafemi to the top A belt, the NXT Championship. Fine, but I don't know how I feel about that. Really, we'll see how it plays out. You also had what else happened? Oh, you had that 6-man. No, it wasn't 6-man. It was a tag team match between Lola, Jada, and JC Jane and Fallon Henley, which ended with Jada Parker leaving Lola out to dry, and Lola got beat up and lost. And then once, it was funny because Kalani Jordan said before the match that she had a plan. If things go haywire, she had a plan. I'm like, where's your plan, Kalani? Because this backfired completely. Like, what are you doing here? It wasn't until Lola Vice got out the ring, and the three of them, by three of them, I mean Fatal Influence, when they got in the ring, cutting a promo on Kalani Jordan, that's when I realized, oh snap, she's gonna call out Bianca and Jade. Before she said, I didn't come alone, I like, oh my God, they're gonna come out here. Sure enough, Bianca and Jade came out there, big pop for them. Got a really cool visual with Bianca, Jade, and Kalani Jordan. So next week we're gonna have a 6-woman tag match between Fatal Influence and Bianca, Jade, and Kalani Jordan. That should be fun match, low stakes. Nothing of real consequence for Bianca and Jade. No character work there really. Just a fun match. That's kind of what we're getting with Bianca and Jade these days. Well, not these days, all the time. Just fun stuff, fun matches. Not really any real compelling storytelling here, but I'm gonna enjoy it. It'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be great. Okay, this still will be next week in St. Louis. A team up here. Now this is a moment for JC Jane and Fallon Henley specifically to really show out, especially when they're rolling with Bianca. So let's say they ask Bianca, so how did Fallon Henley feel in there? How did JC Jane feel in there? Did they feel good? Yes, they feel good. They're ready to go. So I really be looking for them to really step up and show out. Not really with Jade and Kalani Jordan, but when they're really like working with Bianca in the training, in preparation, during the production of it, during the match, really expect them to really show up and show out. When working with Bianca Belair, Bianca put in a good word for them when it comes to call-ups. I think they're ready. They've been ready. Fallon Henley and JC Jane, they're ready to go. But it'll be interesting to see how the match looks with them in there with Bianca and all that stuff. So that's going to be good. Looking forward to that. Again, we had that visual of the three of them together, which was cool. Okay. Not going to hit on that. Not going to hit on it. Cool stuff from the three of them. Yeah. It's all fun. It's all fun stuff. Nothing too compelling. I was not having fun. Bianca Jade Kalani will win, of course. Jada Parker did turn heel a little bit. It looked like she did. Now that she's done with the Roxanne stuff, she may be going back to heel, I think. Possible. Left her high and dry. But that's maybe what they're doing. Jade is perfect for NXT. Well, she won't be down there, unfortunately. She's going to be on the main roster with Bianca. Tied to the hip. Kalani said in an interview that Natty, Bianca, and others have given her good advice. Yeah. So Kalani Jordan has said in interviews that she looks up to Bianca Belair. She said she studies her. She said she studies RVD, she studies Bianca Belair, and she studies Daniel Bryan's promos. And then she also said she looks up to Bianca Belair for being a trailblazer for her and for people that look like her. Brought up Sasha Banks as well. So yeah, she's a big fan of Bianca Belair. Talks about her all the time. So this is great for her to be teaming up with Bianca like this. Awesome. I'm happy for Kalani. Good stuff. You'll be having fun in 3 weeks. What's happening in 3 weeks? What's happening in 3 weeks, Solar? Tell me what's happening in 3 weeks. I'm curious to know. So yeah, NXT was a fine segment. Then we got oh boy, that why you're excited? You think Giulia will win in 3 weeks? Oh boy. Folks, it's possible, but I'm not right now. I don't think it's going to happen. In 3 weeks, I do not think Roxanne Perez is dropping that belt at Halloween Havoc. I don't. Not anymore. I don't think so. So was that main event match. We had CM Punk. The entire time I'm watching the clock, you guys are cutting it close. There's no overrun. They're cutting it close. This was a good match. Fine match. I knew Chick Williams was going to win because of obvious reasons. Like, there are folks who thought he was going to lose. I don't know how you came up with that. I don't know how you came up with the face of the division, the face of the company, losing on the CW show in a main event with CM Punk at the helm. I don't know how you booked that. How? But a lot of people thought that Trick Williams was going to lose. Astonishing. I don't know how you came up with that. I don't know how you came up with that. But yeah, he didn't. Okay? Trick Williams won. Because of course. Because obvious. The show ended with the whip that trick chance, like we all knew was going to happen. And yeah, new era, Trick Williams. Now, does he deal with Obafemi? If Obafemi loses, does he deal with Obafemi? Is there more talent coming in from out of the box that we don't know? I think the men's division needs help. The women's division is stacked. Roxanne, Giulia, Stephanie Vaquer, Delta, Ruka, Kalani Jordan, Fallon Henley. It's stacked. It's stacked on the women's side. The men need help. So do you put Obafemi to the main title, in the main title scene? Do you bring in some more talent from NXT or the main roster? From the main roster, do you bring in someone from the main roster? I don't know. Do you sign somebody? I don't know. But NXT's men division needs some help. Wesley for Trick, that could happen. Have we seen that match before? Have we seen Wesley against Trick Williams yet? Maybe not. He won the street fight, so maybe that's what we're doing next. Ricky Starks coming in eventually. Ricky Starks had something. Apparently, Ricky Starks had me blocked. I don't know. Apparently, he didn't like my tweet. I thought that tweet was good fun. I just thought it was funny. Tweet where Bianca Belair pushes Jade Cargill out the way for the pin. I thought it was funny. I didn't mean anything by it. Apparently, he wasn't a fan. I may be blocked. I don't know. I didn't check yet. I might be blocked by him, though. We don't know yet, though. Maybe blocked. Maybe blocked. But yeah, this was a good match. And it of course ends with Trick Williams at the forefront, right? Had to. So that was NXT. Good show overall. But the big talking point for me was Giulia Roxanne Perez for obvious reasons. I will say, I'll openly admit that this was probably my most anticipated show of the week, even more so than Bad Blood. Because the intrigue of the Giulia Roxanne match, because of what's happening on CW, who's going to show up, how's it going to work, how's it going to look. I was very much intrigued and looking forward to this show more so than even the Bad Blood show. What does that say? What does it say about the state of that show? Is it just me? Might just be me. Maybe other people are excited about Bad Blood, but for some reason, as the days tick on, I'm becoming less and less excited about Bad Blood. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. WWE are reportedly planning on Roman Reigns to compete in his first Rumble since 2020. That's fun, I guess. Before I talk about Bad Blood, let's talk about the women's division on Raw. Thanks for reminding me. about the women's division in Raw. It's bad. Okay, the past Raw was 3 hours. Got one match. That was Zoe Stark against Lyra Valkyria. PFC against the Party Birds. It's rough. Okay, who's to blame? Creative is to blame. They're not doing a good enough job with PFC and Lyra and the crew. They're not doing a good enough job with Liv Morgan and Io Sky and Kairi Sane and Rhea Ripley. There's ways to incorporate Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley into the women's division more so than they're doing. Dakota Kai is not here yet. She's on her way back. But Io Sky and Kairi Sane cut a promo that sounded very heelish. What's happening here? Aren't they supposed to be babyfaces now? This is very much a heel promo. This is not Kairi Sane. Babyface Kairi Sane does not sound like this, okay? This was a heel promo, I thought. What's happening here? I know Bianca and Jade are faces, but you knew that ahead of time. So what's happening here? It's weird. I didn't like that promo from them. They should be leaning into the babyface stuff. They do babyface and babyface. That's fine. But I didn't like that heel promo. The Raw Women's Division is really, really bad. Brought Bianca and Jade over. Not being used. On Raw. Last night they weren't. Or last Raw they weren't. They're used for NXT, but not on Raw. It's a very rough situation. I don't know the solution. Maybe Becky Lynch comes back and Becky Lynch can like light a fire under creative, but this is all on creative. It's not on the talent to make creative do shit, okay? It's on creative to give a shit. Right now, creative is not giving a damn, so. But Raw, 3 hours, one match is sickening. It's sickening. It's really, really bad. Really, really bad. I don't know what to do about it. I agree that Becky won't come back to Netflix. I agree with that. And then thanks for reminding me, Sam, man. Next week is 2 hours. 2 hour Raws. So 3 hours, you get one match. What's going to happen next week? What's going to happen next week? Eventually, we're going to get the Bianca, Jade, Io Sky, Kairi Sane match. But then what? More PFC stuff? It's not compelling. It's not good. You're going to have a bunch of Liv Morgan, Judgment Day stuff. You're gonna have a lot of Terra Twin stuff with Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest. But what about the women's division on its own? Not much. Not much. So well, Netflix it won't be an exact time because it'll be streaming. So it'll be as long as it needs to be. There's no requirement for streaming. It'll be 2 hours, it'll be 2.5 hours, it'll be 3 hours, depends on how long you want to be. So Netflix is a little different. Looking forward to it. Limited commercials, I think. Looking forward to it big time. But yeah, Raw, the women's division is rough. SmackDown's better off. It's just crazy. Crazy. What next? What next? Okay, let's talk about Bad Blood. So my excitement level for Bad Blood is kind of like what's to say about Bad Blood? It's coming down as time goes on. I'm not looking forward to Finn versus Damian Priest. I think they botched that storyline. I think Finn loses because Damian Priest has not got his lick back from SummerSlam. If you remember, Rhea Ripley has pinned Liv Morgan at Bash, but Dom was in that match, not Finn. So Finn has yet to get his real comeuppance, right? He hasn't really got beaten yet by Damian Priest in a proper way in a match. So I think Priest will pin Finn at Bad Blood and defeat him to get his ultimate payback from SummerSlam, which he has not received yet. Number one, Damian Priest beats Finn, I think. I think Nia Jax Bayley, pretty predictable. Nia Jax wins. She retains. How? Probably Tiffany. Could they do something interesting while having Naomi come down there? Possible. Do I expect it? I'm not sure. But I do think Tiffany will come down there. She'll tease the cash in, but she'll probably help her ultimately because you have to have Tiffany and Nia Jax together for a while because I think they want to do Tiffany, Nia Jax against Bianca and Jade. So in order to do that feud, you need Bianca and Jade to feud with them, obviously. So they got to stay together. So I don't think a cash-in is happening. So I think Tiffany will get involved. Maybe Naomi may get involved too and cause a problem for Bayley. Next week we're getting not next week. This week we're getting Nia Jax watching Naomi and Tiffany. What's going to happen there? Will that tie into Bad Blood? Probably. Considering it's the day before Bad Blood, it probably will. So we'll see what happens with Naomi. I still think Naomi has a part to play in this entire thing. Tiffany against Naomi on Friday. Next day is Bad Blood. We'll see how Naomi ties into it. Maybe that'll be interesting. But in terms of right now, Nia Jax retains. Tiffany gets involved. Tiffany helps her. And that's about it. So I'm hoping Naomi gets a storyline here with Bayley that's compelling. You got Bayley winning. Ha. 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 I would be shocked. I'll be flabbergasted if Bayley beat Nia Jax at Bad Blood. Shocked. Unfortunately, Judgment Day are like the Bad Bloodline now. No longer interesting? Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Nia retains for sure. Imagine if someone cost Tiffany and Nia the win. Let me say that again. Imagine if someone cost Tiffany and Nia the win against Bianca and Jade. Someone like who? Who would get involved in that match? Bayley wins, but the Tiffany cash in? Not at Bad Blood. Not at Bad Blood. Again, Nia Jax Tiffany dynamic needs to last long enough for Bianca and Jade to have a tag match with them. That's where this is headed. In order for Tiffany and Nia Jax to get closer, you need Tiffany to interfere in the match and help Nia Jax. For the last few weeks, Nia Jax has been feeling like Tiffany has been screwing her. Tiffany has been making mistakes. So if you want that partnership to get closer, Tiffany needs to help her and actually get the job done this time in a way that doesn't piss off Nia Jax. So I think Tiffany helps her. She wins to get closer. Then they chase the tag titles. Bianca Jade comes back to SmackDown for that match. And then we see what happens. But no way. Nia Jax retains for sure. For sure. Next match was what? Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley. Dom is in a Shark Tank. Why? Because reasons. Because visual. Because spectacle. I believe Dom might throw something down to the ring. That's the only thing I can think of. Like, why else do you have him in the damn Shark Tank? It's possible that he throws something down to the ring. Liv Morgan uses it, yada yada. But ultimately, Liv Morgan will retain. The question is how. I'm guessing Finn Balor's plan will come into place. Maybe Raquel Rodriguez. I'm probably going to guess 80% sure Raquel. I'm probably more confident that Raquel will show up than I was for Cora Jade. So I think, just like with Cora Jade, Raquel shows up, interferes in the match, and then we'll actually have a feud where Rhea Ripley will be up against somebody her own size, somebody that Triple H will book strong to face her. Heel Raquel will be a menace. Heel Raquel will give Rhea Ripley all she can handle for a while. And hopefully, Rhea is feuding with heel Raquel Rodriguez, get Lyra or somebody else up against Liv Morgan. Bring Liv Morgan back into the damn women's division for a second on Raw and have Rhea dealing with Raquel for a little bit. Hopefully. I'm hoping Raquel will give the avenue for other stories with the top title. We'll see. No, Nia Jax won clean. Nia Jax beat Bayley clean at SummerSlam. It was a clean win. Unless I'm remembering that wrong. I'm pretty sure Nia Jax beat Bayley clean at SummerSlam. I'm pretty sure. If Tiffany was there, she didn't impact things too much. I believe a clean win for Nia Jax happened at SummerSlam. It was clean. Could be wrong though. I'll go watch it again. I'll watch that match back. Tiffany was there. Nia Jax didn't win clean. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm gonna watch that match back. I'm gonna watch it back. And that won't be on Twitter or YouTube, so I'll watch it back later on. You did win clean? Yeah, she was there. She was there for sure. I'm seeing it now, but I don't know what she did in that match. It's not because Bayley recovered from whatever happened. I'm looking at it now. It didn't directly result in her losing. She has Nia Jax in a powerbomb. Let me show this right quick. Let me show this real quick. She has in a powerbomb. Lands the powerbomb. Go for the pin, I guess. He goes for the elbow drop. Lands the elbow drop. She kicked out. I can't play it because I'm gonna get copyrighted. Tiffany ran down there. Okay, I'm seeing now. Ran down there after that. What happened? She ran down there. She goes to cash in. Yeah, it was clean. It was clean. It was clean. It was clean. Why do I say that? Let me show you. She goes down there. Bayley punches Bayley. She punches her. She punches Tiffany. Nia Jax tries to capitalize. Nia Jax misses. He misses. And then Bayley pins her here. So it didn't have an impact on the result. See? So after she hit Tiffany, Nia Jax tried to hit her, but she dodged it. See? She dodged it. She dodged it. And then she went for a pin. So yeah, she went clean. She went clean. And interference only matters if it actually results in a disadvantage. It didn't. She countered it. Anyway. She retracted her, but it doesn't matter. She dodged the attack from Nia Jax. It's not the reason she lost. It's not the reason she lost. Is my point. If it's not the reason you lost, it's a clean win. So, but let's move past that. So yeah, Nia Jax wins. Next match. Oh yeah, the shark cage thing. All right, talk about that. Raquel gets involved probably. Okay. Liv Morgan retains. And then you have the tag match where it's Cody and Roman Reigns against the Bloodline. I'd be shocked if Roman Reigns loses his first PLE back. So I'm guessing Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes wins. I think Roman Reigns will probably get the pin. Probably pin Solo Sikoa maybe. I don't know. What do you think happens in that tag match? There's gonna be a lot of storytelling, a lot of can they coexist stuff going on here. Can they get along stuff? I think Cody and Roman Reigns will win though, probably. Should it main event? No. The main event should be CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, which is probably my most anticipated match. Really looking forward to that. I think CM Punk wins. So that'd be the most exciting matchup here. But yeah, I think the tag match, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, kind of overpowered. I think one of them pins Roman Reigns, pins Solo Sikoa, and that's that. That is that. I think CM Punk, Drew McIntyre should main event that show. Should. Yeah, it's interesting. Like, I could see Roman Reigns not getting pinned. No way. That'd be bold. It'd be bold, but I don't see it. I guess it's more unpredictable than making it seem. It's not clear cut. Who take the pin? It's not clear cut. You're going to have interference from the Tongas for sure. Yeah, I think it should open up the show. Open up the show. No, not main event. Open up the show. Did The Rock show up at Atlanta? I can see it, but I don't think so. Solo pins Roman. That'd be crazy. Solo pins Roman, but it's because Jacob. That'd be crazy to have Solo pin Roman. I guess I can see that narratively. Like storytelling wise, I can see that outcome. I can see why they want to do that. To really establish Solo Sikoa as a big deal. Right now, Solo looks weak. He looks weak these days, so having him pin Roman could be huge. Solo versus Roman at Crown Jewel, you could do that. If he pins him, that sets up, because let's say Cody and Roman can get along, because they had that whole damn cinematic over the top thing at Georgia Tech Stadium for the football team. You can have Solo pin Roman, that sets up Solo Roman at Crown Jewel. Like there's so many fiction, all right? You make it up. So many different avenues, so many different routes you can go. All of it makes sense as long as you execute it well. All that works. All right, guys, what else you got? Before I wrap up this stream, I'm surprised I got through all that. What else to talk about? Anything about Roxanne? Anything about Cora? Anything about Seth? Anything we talk about? Something from Raw? I don't know. Xavier Woods need to calm down. I like what they're doing with the New Day. I like it. Story beats, story progression. No title involved. Why can't he do that with the women's division? Why can't they do that with Bianca and Jade? You have a storyline here between Kofi and Xavier Woods that's compelling, interesting. Seth Rollins is working with Bronson Reed as well. Good stuff happening. Why can't you do that with the women? Why can't you? I don't know why. But I'm liking what they're doing with New Day here. Here are our new logos. Thoughts on people thinking Triple H is racist? Oh yeah, street fight. That'd be fun. Michin against Chelsea Green this weekend. Oh yeah, the Delta teaser. Delta had a teaser, which was cool to see. She's been there for a while. She's been there longer than Giulia and freaking Stephanie. I don't know if Stephanie's there yet, but she's been there for a long time. She went there early, if you remember. She'd been traveled to Orlando. She's just been waiting. She's been sitting there waiting for her time. Now I got this cool desert in Australia, the highway. She's walking. It's very much Delta. She's gonna show up. The sign, you can't see the sign. The sign says 10/27, so that's October 27th, which is the day of Halloween Havoc. I think she may be a heel. Honestly, I'm not sure. They may be doing a heel stuff here with Delta. You have Delta go after Kalani Jordan, which is the move. You already have Cora Jade, Roxanne Perez, Giulia, Stephanie Vaquer in the top title scene. Smart to have Delta come in maybe after, go after Kalani Jordan maybe. That's her approach, but happy to see this vignette for her. She's been there waiting for her time. She's there. Very cool. Looking forward to Delta's run. Yeah, against Kalani, I like that. Heel, I like it as well. Has a very heelish look anyway with that red and that face paint. I like it. Have her go in there and be a problem for Kalani Jordan. She's ready to go. She's a good wrestler. I think it's great. Have Delta go after Kalani. Bull Nakano. Yeah, she has that type of vibe, that type of look. I agree. Stephanie has a visa. Stephanie, they would not show her in the intro. They would not show her last week if plans were not in place for her to have the visa issues dealt with. So I think she's ready to go within the next month here. So expect to see Stephanie within the next month. And expect to see Delta at freaking Halloween Havoc. When am I doing an official Bad Blood video? I don't know. Am I going to do one? I don't know. It was kind of it. In this stream, kind of. I don't know if I want to repeat all that. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe not. I may not do one. Having women's mid-card title on the main roster, do you think that'll work? Yes. Absolutely. force them to tell stories, because apparently they need motivation. So create the tag titles, not tag titles. Create the mid card titles to have women chase. It'd be good for the mid card title, mid card women. It'd be good for NXT call ups because they won't have to go straight to the main title. For example, Tiffany should be chasing the mid card title right now, but she can't because there is no mid card title. So she's in the mix for the top women's championship, which is a mistake, I think. So create the mid card titles. I believe is smart. You have a lot of talent coming from NXT. Do you want Roxanne to be in the tag team loop, like the tag team hellhole, or do you want her to be chasing something that's not the top title? If you create a mid card title that gives Roxanne direction, that gives Tiffany direction, that gives Sol Ruka direction when she gets called up, it's smart. Great US title for women, IC title for the women, put them on the different brands, have that be the bar. They win that, they defend that for a few times, and then they move up to the top title. Same thing happening for the men. If it's good for the men, good for the women. Great. I'm all aboard the mid-card title for the women. I think it makes sense for that stacked, loaded roster. And I think this is a matter of time. They're creating belts left and right. We're going to get those mid-card titles, I think. It makes too much sense not to do it. Will I stream during the pre-show of Bad Blood? Sure, why not? We'll see. What'll be interesting is Bad Blood will be dead in the middle of college football season. I wonder how that will work these days, because a lot of people have their fandom with their college football teams. You're going to be having college football on one stream and Bad Blood on another stream. I'm going to have to do that because my favorite college football team is Michigan football. I think they're playing at night. Michigan Wolverines. Let me see. Michigan football. Playing Washington next week. Yep. 7:30, folks. So I'll be watching Bad Blood and the game at the same time. Now, Bad Blood starting at 6 Eastern because of UFC. So because UFC starts at 10, we're starting Bad Blood at 6. I'm not complaining. Give me it earlier in the day. I love that. 6 p.m. Bad Blood, 3-hour show. It ends, and if you care, you can turn on UFC and not miss anything. So if we're gonna so some people are worried about maybe they will be moving these PLEs to Sunday. If we get 6 o'clock, 3-hour shows, that way you have like an hour for UFC. Oh, I'm down. I'm not the biggest UFC fan. I don't watch it live. I watch a match here and there, but I don't watch it live. So I love it. I don't care about UFC like that anyway. Give me my PLEs at 6 Eastern time. I'll take that all day. I love that. So I don't think we have to worry about Sunday night PLEs. I think we're going to be getting it earlier in the day. So get the WWE first and then get UFC later on. I'm good with that. Give me that. Yeah, the Illinois game is huge. That's huge. Yeah, we have a QB problem, but yeah. Hopefully by then, Alex Orji will be good to go, but we'll see. You need to get comfortable within the pocket, comfortable throwing the rock. Well, this is not Michigan hour, so, but yeah, we have issues at quarterback. Anyway, that's 11 p.m. for you, and 3 a.m. Oh, that'd be good. Okay, so you're more likely to watch it. Are you a Piston fan? No, I'm weird. So the first college football game I ever watched as a kid was Michigan against Michigan State, and I didn't understand what I was watching. I didn't get what I was watching. Like, how is Michigan? I didn't understand college football at that time. I didn't understand college. So why the hell? I'm like 6 or 5. Like, why the hell is Michigan playing Michigan State? I don't get it. How is Michigan playing Michigan State? I didn't understand the concept of it. But ultimately, I picked Michigan that day, and they won, and I've been a fan ever since. So it had nothing to do with where I live or where I went to school. I just like Michigan football from a kid. That's all. So I'm a Michigan football fan and a Carolina Panthers football fan. So Michigan, Carolina. So no actual ties to Michigan. I just grew up watching the program and liking it from a young age. I followed it ever since. But besides that, I think that is it for the stream. NBA team, Charlotte Hornets. So I'm a Carolina Panthers fan, Charlotte Hornets fan, and I'm a Michigan football fan, and I'm a Real Madrid soccer fan, and that's pretty much it. Charlotte Hornets, Carolina Panthers, Michigan football, Real Madrid soccer team. Yeah. Kofi, yeah, I can see that. I can see Kofi going out there and costing Xavier Woods. They're going to end up in like a blood feud. I can see it. An absolute blood feud. Is that audio playing right now? No, it's muted. About to say. Anyway, folks, I think that's it for this stream. They do suck. They do suck. Well, actually, now that they benched Bryce Young, they got him better. They benched the young kid, little baby Bryce. They benched him. Now, Andy Dalton is playing a lot better. So, but we'll see what happens with good old Andy Dalton and Bryce Young in the future. We'll see what happens. That is it for the stream, folks. Do me a favor, like the video. They got LaMelo Ball. They do, and they got some talent on that screen, on that team. A lot of young talent there. Do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, leave your thoughts about Giulia's booking, and were you upset? Were you angry? Did you not understand it? Did they bury Giulia? Did they screw her over? Is she ruined? Did she move back to Japan? Is it over for her WWE career? Did they botch it? Was it fumbled? Is it worse than Cherie? Give your thoughts on Giulia, NXT, Seth Rollins, and everything else we talk about. And 2-hour Raw. Yep, 2-hour Raw. We'll see how that goes. Women division will have to pray, David, for sure. But yeah, that'll be interesting. Maybe it'll be good. We'll see. But less to think about. We'll see what happens with them. I wonder when they're gonna do the Bianca and Jade against Io and Kairi Sane. I'm guessing the Raw after Bad Blood, maybe. Here's the thing I didn't mention. I forgot to say this. I think we could get an interaction when Bianca and Jade are hosting. We get an interaction between them and Nia Jax and Tiffany, or maybe even Io Sky and Kairi. Some type of interaction between the two teams, set something up. So just because they're debuting, or not debuting, just because they're hosting at Bad Blood, doesn't mean you can't tell a storyline between Nia Jax and Tiffany or the Sky Pirates. It's all possible. So we'll see what happens on that show. Hopefully to give us something from that perspective. Maybe they announce the match for next week on Raw. Maybe they'll say, "Hey, on Raw we'll be taking on the Damage Control for the tag titles on Raw." I don't know. We'll see. Because Damage Control have already challenged them. There's nowhere to go. Some people are trying to say they're going to do Damage Control against Bianca and Jade at Crown Jewel. Not a chance. They challenged them on Raw. It's over. You can't wait 4 weeks or 5 weeks. It's a wrap. They challenged them. They beat Io Sky, beat Bianca. They beat Unholy Union. They challenged them on Raw. It's a wrap. The match has to happen within the next 2 weeks. Sometime within the next 2 weeks, the match must happen on Raw. It'll be one of the 4 matches on Raw. The one women's match on Raw with 2 hours. Okay. That's what's going to happen. All right, folks. See you guys later. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Talk to you later. Peace.